So today I've come to Hadrian's Wall in Northumberland, and in particular I've come to Sycamore Gap, and I'm on a bit of a mission. What it is during the last lockdown I actually started producing a range of jigsaw puzzles which have sold remarkably well, which I'm actually incredibly pleased about. Now, recently I had a stockist ask me if I could produce a Sycamore Gap jigsaw, and which made me think that yeah, it was about time I sort of expanded the range a bit. So here I am. The forecast was looking promising. I thought, well, let's do it. Today's as good a day as any. Now the problem is I've got here, and as you can see, it's just blue skies everywhere, which whilst is great for sunbathing, it's not exactly brilliant for photography. And the next problem, it's not going to be particularly brilliant for a jigsaw, because if you imagine a 1,000-piece jigsaw and probably 600 pieces of those are blue, it's going to be incredibly boring and incredibly hard. So what I need a bit of interest going on in the sky, or I need to change the viewpoint. Now I've taken a shot with a few fluffy clouds behind. I use the polarizer to help sort of really boost the clouds and make them pop from the sky. That's what polarizer is brilliant at. In these sort of conditions, we've got some clouds, pop a polarizer on, shoot roughly 90 degrees to the sun, twist it to your taste and take the shot, and it generally really helps. Basically, now the sun's dropped a little bit and swing around slightly, you'll see that the left hand side here, just here, it's basically now in shade. Now of course the problem with that is that basically it looks a little bit off balance, and it's not going to be exactly very exciting. All of a sudden the jigsaw's going to have a really dark patch, which again is going to be as nearly as boring as having lots of blue sky. So it's not acceptable. I can't have that. So I've got to try and get a bit more creative, I think, with my composition. Okay, so I'm starting to struggle a little bit here. The shadows on the left-hand side are really quite extreme. It's really blocked up. So in post-processing, I could pull out the shadow detail. The problem is it's borderline and starting to look a little bit unnatural, and it's not what I want. I want the nicest light I can possibly get. But I'm having a trade-off here again. There's going to be compromises with this shot, and there's no avoiding it really. In an ideal world, I'd be able to just come back in the winter and get the sun as it's coming right behind me, which will nicely illuminate the tree, as you'll see. But of course, the tree would have no leaves on it, and then it wouldn't exactly look that brilliant. It's not the sort of shot that people are going to expect on a jigsaw that they take home from Northumberland. So really, it's about ticking those boxes for the end product. Okay, as you can see, I've just taken the drone up, and you know what? I was actually quite pleased with that shot. That could possibly be a good candidate. I think what I like about it is the fact that it still looked like the classic viewpoint, but because I had a slightly elevated view on it, I managed to kill a few of those shadows, so there wasn't so much shadows on the left-hand side of the frame. And I think it just, having a bit behind, just added a bit of depth to the shot, so I think that could actually work quite nicely. Anyway, I've come to the other side of the wall now, and what I'm going to try using the wall leading in all the way from the left hand corner of the frame and straight down to the tree. And obviously the other side is actually in the shadow now, but I think for this case it won't actually matter. If anything, the only thing that I think that's going to kill this shot is the lack of any clouds the other side, and it's a real shame, because if it had it, this probably wouldn't be too bad. But anyway, I'm going to take it, and let's see how it looks. I've increased the ISO slightly. I normally work at base ISO 64, but what I want to do, I want to try and freeze the leaves a bit more, because if you're doing a jigsaw, you want to be able to have really not have a load of blurred stuff to try and deal with. It'd be nice if it was sharp and make life a little bit easier, I'd have thought. So let's just take this. Okay, and it looks like this. Well, as you can see, the weather's changed slightly. As I was walking back up the wall, I noticed a big bank of cloud coming in from the west, and we're talking big. So I think really I'm not going to get any more light. But my only slight sliver of hope is the fact that it looked like a little break on the horizon. So I've come back round to the viewpoint where I started, and basically I'm going to sit around and see what sunset does. There's about an hour and 20 minutes until then. I doubt if anything's going to happen. If it does, I'm going to put the shot up now. And I'm going to end the video here, I think. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please press the like button and maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. Thanks again. Bye.